Shalom, Yasharallah. It's your brother Dawud from GMS Type Base 07, coming at you with the truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise unto Yahweh, Hashem Yahweh Shah, double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that taught me this truth and that rule well. A salutation and much love for you, Akim, that's pushing this truth sincerely in the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions, I want to get into this quick lesson, we was on a conference call with the brethren and stuff, and it's just beautiful hearing the brethren voice and things like that, and just, being able to understand their spirit and things like that. We all in the same boat, and it's just, comforting. We bring out these scriptures back and forth with one another, But nevertheless, something sparked up in my mind, and so, I compiled this here lesson, So we want to just jump right into it. This is, gonna be real quick. I'll try to get this real fast. This is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 7. Let me start up, actually. So we're going to start at verse 4. Now, we're dealing with, the Most High and Yahweh's anger, A lot of people like to talk about how the Most High is all love and this and that and those type of things, The Most High hates the sin and not the sinner, and, He's not really upset with you that much. He knows my heart, He knows me, just these types of things, People don't really understand it. The Most High, it's like the Most High is actually angry with the things that's going on every day, It's like the scripture says, my eyes are upon the sinful kingdom, Yeah, that's Esau and his rulership, but also what are you people doing under Esau's rulership, You partaking in him, you serving him as your God and you following after him and his ways, But nevertheless, we're going to jump off into this. Is 2 Peter's, yeah, I'm going to just start at verse 2. 2 Peter 2 and 2. And many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. Okay? You got these so-called scoffers and stuff, they speaking evil of the truth. And through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you. Oh, y'all believe in that, y'all this and that, kind of God y'all believe in. My God love, he don't hate, these type of things, They're trying to make merchandise of you. And then also they make these world star videos and scoffing, they trying to get hits and stuff like that on YouTube and stuff like that to get some money, Through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not, And this is the folly that they in now, because roughly paraphrasing, because basically the Most High hadn't brought down judgment on you right now, He's a long time holding his peace, He's long suffering. Because of that, you take that for granted and you just keep on going, Verse 4, for if Yahweh spared not the angels that sin, but cast them down into hell and delivered them into chains of darkness to be reserved unto judgment, okay? And that's not talking about Lucifer and the fall of Lucifer and his angels and nothing like that. That's talking about us right here, right now, We went off, we broke the law, statutes, commandments. Read Deuteronomy 28, start at verse 15. You can read the whole chapter, but start at verse 15 and on down. Those are the curses, And that's us being reserved in these chains of darkness until this time, Being subject to the flesh, being separated from the Most High, But nevertheless, verse 5 says, and spared not the old world, but saved Noah, the eighth person, a preacher of righteousness, bringing in the flood upon the world of ungodliness, or upon the world of the ungodly, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example unto those that should follow, that should after live ungodly. Okay? Now, that whole buildup was basically because of the fact that, they was going off, This is basically the Most High being upset about that, And so he was upset with all that the whole time, and then he finally rained down on Sodom and Gomorrah, So the Most High, he didn't take the sin away from Sodom and Gomorrah. He destroyed the sinners with their damn sin. He destroyed the sinners in their sin, But nevertheless, this is the point I wanted to get. And delivered just Lot, vexed with filthy conversation of the wicked, So, let me keep going. It says, for that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing vex his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. Okay? So, not only was the Most High upset, but, righteous Lot, because he's in tune and aligned and on one accord with the Most High and his ways, he vexed as well, I mean, you'd be a hypocrite to say that you don't really care about homosexuals going around and doing whatever they got to do, and the Most High think that's an abomination. You know, you should be in the same spirit. You know, the same mindset. You know. But nevertheless, going back up, it says, and delivered just Lot, vexed with filthy conversation of the wicked, for that righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. So Lot was upset, you know, from their unlawful deeds and the wicked shit that was going on, they had going on, you know, even though he wasn't necessarily in it, he just had to live in that, you know, had to go around seeing, like when the angels came, he had all these homosexuals trying to break down his door to sleep with, you know, basically people in men's bodies, you know, like God, like, man, damn, you know, and then he tried to give them his daughters, they still wanted, you know, they still wanted to be wicked, you know, they had the whole damn city around them, you know, this wasn't just no one or two reprobates, no, this was the whole damn city and the surrounding cities, this is why they was all destroyed, you know. We'll jump to the next precept. This is Amos chapter 5, verse 15. I'm going to start at verse 14. Seek good and not evil, that you may live, and so Yahweh, the power of hosts, shall be with you, as you have spoken. Okay? So look for the good stuff, and don't try to do the good, and don't go after evil. You know, don't be trying to figure out how I can flip a bird or become a dope boy or hit a lick or nothing like that. No. See how you can get out of all kind of stuff like that and come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments. You know, that's what you should be doing, you know. The point here I wanted to grab is in verse 15. It says, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. It may be that Yahweh, power of hosts, will be graced unto the remnant of Joseph. That's a lot here for the background noise. But nevertheless, the point I wanted to grab out of here was hate the evil and love the good, you know. These are commandments of the Most High, you know. Like just Lot, he was vexed because he hated the evil and he loved righteousness. You know, he hated them homosexuals going around like that. Like, what kind of reprobate do you have to be, like, to not like the woman's reproductive system, you know, to put it nicely, you know. Like, damn, the woman was created for the man, you know. Your reproductive organ fit right where her reproductive organ fit, you know? And they both get stimulated and aroused when they come together. You know what I'm saying? Like, why the fuck do you want to not deal with a woman? You want to go deal with men? Like, that shit is just that's just retarded, you know? The Most High gave you the thing, you know, what you needed. You know, you rough, she soft. Y'all go together, you know? It's like ice and water, you know what I'm saying? It just match up, you know? But nevertheless, you know, you got these reprobates. They want to keep going off, you know? But nevertheless, it just says, Amos 5:15 again, hate the evil and love the good, and establish judgment in the gate. Yeah, so call a spade, like, nigga, you going off. Y'all homosexuals, y'all need to stop that shit so y'all get put to death, you know? If we was in our kingdom, your ass would be put to death. It may be that Yahweh, power of hosts, will be graced unto the remnant of Joseph. Okay? We're going to jump into the book of Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 14. Okay? Now, so we read about, you know, some of the men, you know, the righteous men like Lot, who was vexed. We just read about, you know, how the Most High commanded us, like, love the good and hate the evil. Okay? Now we're going to hear about how, basically the Most High and Yahweh shall feel about this, you know? This is Isaiah chapter 42. And verse 13, Yahweh shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. You know, and I brought this out in my video. I believe it was either yesterday or the day before that, dealing with the Most High being a man of war. You know, when you watch those Dragon Ball Z cartoons and, you know, you see Jake, you know, in a fight, sometimes they get really emotional. They start crying. They be beating somebody's ass. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what it's talking about, you know? Like Dragon Ball Z, they power up. They hit him with the wham one time, you know? That's how the Most High saying, you know? He gonna basically power up and he gonna just let loose on your ass, you know? It says, I have long time holding my peace. Okay? It's like, look, I just sat back and watched your ass go off for the longest time. Now I'm about to say something. And you don't want me to say nothing. I gave you enough time to fix your own shit. Now I'm going to fix it for you. And you don't want to see that because you can't stand before the living power, you know. It says, I have long time holding my peace. This is Isaiah 42 and 14. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Okay, the Most High said, I sat back, let you try to get right. I didn't interfere. I wasn't trying to be all this and all that. I let you try to do what you had to do. I was going to see what you was going to do on your own, but you couldn't fucking get right. So now I got to come through and hey. Then I even sent my prophets out there to tell your ass to get right, but what you do? You want to keep going off. So now it's just judgment, you know. It says, I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry like a travailing woman, and I will destroy and devour at once. I will make waste mountains and hills and dry up their herbs, and I will make the rivers islands, and I will dry up the pools. Okay? I will bring the blind by a way they knew not, and I will lead them in the paths they have not known. And I will make darkness for light before them, and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them, and not forsake them. That's talking about the elect, you know. You know, we was blinded at one point in time, but we came into this truth, you know. And he done led us by a way that we didn't know beforehand, because we was knowing Christianity and stuff like that. But up at the top, you know how he's talking about he's about to bring that judgment down because, hey, he done told y'all, especially you 2/3, you know, you keep going off, and we try to tell you the most, hey, you're going to die with the wicked. Though hand in hand, the wicked ain't going to go unpunished, you know. This is Isaiah chapter 63. This is Isaiah 63 starting at the top. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat. Okay, this is talking about Yahushua, okay? And they asking him why your garment is all like stained red, like as if you were stepping on the grapes in the grape pool. You know what they call a wine the wine press, you know, and basically, you know, that's how they was to squeeze the juice out of the grapes. You know, they just wanted stepping on it. You know, the bottom of their garments had the grape blood on it. You know, the grape juice on it, so it would be kind of stained. You know, but here's metaphorically speaking, it's like a man is, man. Imagine you done goddamn went that Leatherface guy named Chainsaw Massacre on a motherfucker. You know, cut somebody up or sauce. You went sawing somebody. You know. Cut somebody up, was playing in their blood, you're going to be covered in their blood, you know. So Yahushua saying, look, it says, wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth the wine fat. I have trodden the wine press alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garment, and I will stain all my raiment. This Yahushua saying this, you know. Saying, look, I will tread them in my anger, okay? I will trample them in my fury. He pissed the fuck off. Let me just read the next line, okay? From the day he was put up on a cross until the day he returns. This is, you know, what he got on his mind. It says, you know, when it says, sit at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. He's sitting there patiently waiting, but he got this in his mind. This is what he's thinking about the whole time, right here, verse 4, Isaiah 63 and 4. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeem is come. Okay? And so, let me read verse 5. For time because you know, you can read 5 and 6, you know, it keeps, you know, further going into it. Yahushua pissed off. Basically saying, I'm about to run through these heathen, you know? Pair that with, what is that, Luke 19 and, I think it's, 19 and 7. For those are my enemies, let me try to grab it real quick. I'm running low on time. So, this is, let me see if I can get it. 19 and 27. Yeah, 19 and 27. Luke 19 and 27. But those my enemies which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay before me. Why? Because Yahushua is super pissed, you know? He said, you know, basically the day of vengeance has been in his heart since basically the day he was put up on that cross, you know? Went to the spirit world. Yahweh told him, sit at his right hand till he make his enemies his footstool. Okay. Last scripture we're gonna close out. This is Deuteronomy 32 and verse. Let me go back up. Verse 41. Verse 40. For I lift up my hand to heaven and say, I live forever. If I whip my glittering sword and my hand take hold on judgment, I will render vengeance to mine enemies and reward them that hate me. Okay. And I'm going to just go ahead and stop right there. Like I said, I'm running low on my memory card time space. But, you know, this is the Most High talking about his enemies. He going, you know, he says, I will render vengeance, okay, payback unto mine enemies, okay, the ones that's against the Most High, and will reward them that hate me. So there's people that hate the Most High, and he ain't going to just forgive them, you know. People say, my God is all forgiving. He understand me, this, and that, even if I go off. And your ass go off, the Most High going to take pleasure in destroying your ass, you know. The Most High's got that side of him too, you know. How you got that side inside of you, but the one who created you ain't got that attribute, you know. It ain't the time to be playing around with the Most High. The Most High and his son is super pissed right now, you know. You might want to try to make sure you on the right side of that before your ass get taken out. And it's not gonna be nice. You're not gonna die a normal death. Like the scripture said, they're gonna be looking for death, but death is gonna flee from them. You know. With that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna go ahead and close out with that. Until next time, I say, Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught me this truth and that ruled well. And salutation and much love to you, Akim, on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and truth and sincerity, you know, and enduring afflictions, you know. Stay strong. Shalom, Akim.